I need more light on me. Whoa, not that much. All right. Good evening. This is Christopher Balzano. I am here in the Venice Train Depot, which has become an annual. Oh my word! I look horrible in that light. Maybe we can shoot it from over here because I'm like, I look just there. No, worse. Okay. I'm here at the supposedly haunted Venice Train Depot. For those of you guys who are just tuning in now, like you haven't listened to episode number 1 of Tripping on Legends, or heard any of the stuff that are associated with this, I'll give you a recap of it. And my 2 compadres who do not want to be known on camera, but they're here for my safety and for my fun. They are going to keep track of time, so we make sure we don't go past that we are at our locations and at our spots at exactly midnight. So I'm just going to refer to him as T. T, make sure we don't go over the 12 o'clock, okay? Beautiful. So the story, as originally kind of presented to me by Kim Kuhl in her book Haunted Venice, or Venice Hauntings. This is the location where the Ringling Brothers trains would pull in on Halloween to winter. And since they have stopped running, you can still hear them pulling in at midnight on Halloween. So we were hoping this year to come here on the 30th to the 31st, as opposed to the 31st to the 1st, because the legend is not specific as to what midnight on Halloween means, which of course it isn't, because that's what makes a great legend. But shifting the camera, there we go. No, you don't have to shift the light if you don't want to. Okay, or do shift the light, whatever. I look creepier like that, so that's best. Excuse me. So we were hoping to come here last night, but kid care, stuff like that, I wasn't able to. So we're here back on the same night. Now, Natalie and I came here 2 years ago. We thought what we heard was the sound of a train and train horn. Since we've been here for about 15 minutes. We've kind of looked at more of the terrain that we're in, and we're noticing that it's probably or that there are like several other things. So for example, I'm going to turn the camera around, and you can't really see it too well, but there, maybe I'll come out here a little bit so you can see it. Well, what you see with those lights and that thing, there is a what'd you say it was? A steam plant, a water plant, water treatment plant, which probably runs steam, as well as over here. There we go. There we go. Okay, there we go. Over there, there's also a. Hey Natalie, how you doing? Wish you were out here with us. There's also a drawbridge for the boats that are coming by. So one thing that we didn't really get too much into the last time we were here is that this is a waterway. So I know we talked about it a little bit, but I didn't notice the drawbridge, which is probably a little bit more active with a little bit bigger boats than we had originally seen. And turn it back around to me, focus on me. The other thing that is noticeable is there's a lot more foot traffic. We'll be polite about it. There's a lot more foot traffic here tonight than there was when we were originally here. Our plan is this. What are we looking at for time? Our plan is this. What we're going to do is we're going to go on two different tracks. So we have here on this side where I guess you could call them tracks proper end, right? So this is not it's an active bus depot, but it's not an active train depot anymore. So these tracks right here just kind of end right here. And then over here, we have, I will turn the camera around to that. Over here, we have what we call the ceremonial tracks. And so those lead into the little, the museum that's there, and stuff like that. So rather than both be here or do it two separately, what we're going to do is simultaneously at midnight, my comrades are going to be on one track. They're going to be on the what was actually the tracks, and I am going to be on the ceremonial tracks. And we are both going to drop our $2 bills at the same amount of time. Get the flashlight, can't see anything, she says. Me, I am here. These are the tracks, the ceremonial tracks. These are what were the real tracks. So we're gonna see what we can do. So I'm gonna continue with the legend part of it, just very quickly to recap for those who aren't avid TOL fans. There's another legend which I was able to confirm to some degree, which is that Ringling paid all of his employees with $2 bills. And by paying them with $2 bills, when they would go around Venice and they would pay for what they needed to pay for, people would be able to see how much money they were spending in the town. So there's a close relationship between the spirits that might be the energy that causes this haunting, if it is a haunting and not a legend, and not just a legend, and these $2 bills. So our intention is to put $2 bills and to record so that we maybe like invoke them to come forward. With that, and this is something Natalie and I talked about 2 years ago when we were first here, which is by returning to a location, we might actually gain some kind of familiarity with those spirits, and the spirits might make themselves known, or other spirits might make themselves known, merely because we're going to the same location more than once, and now we've done it. And hopefully, like, we invested money in this, right? So we did like, what? I think $6 in $2 bills the last time, and now we're doing like another $2, like $10. Like, come on, ghosts, show up. Like, how much more do you need to prove that, you know, we're there for you? So that's the plan. Group 1 already has their tape recorder. I'm going to start my tape recorder running. What time do we got? 11:44. 11:40. Okay, so rather than I'm going to come back at midnight. So this is kind of like the recap of it. I'm going to come back at a little bit before midnight, like we'll say like 11:56, and we'll do the whole ceremony like live. Unless there's people who have questions or want to ask questions for the next 10 minutes, which probably you don't. There you go. Okay, so I will be back in about 10 minutes. So we're going to set things up and everything, okay? All right, see you in a little bit.